Proclaim your uniqueness. Proclaim your uniqueness. I'm telling you right now, I got some great information to share with you. But if you ever feel lost or stuck or in a rut, you just confused, overwhelmed, I'm telling you right now, if you can grab onto this special thing, proclaiming your uniqueness, imagining that you're actually a miracle, everything will change for you. Everything will change for you, and it'll be just like that. The stuff that you're looking for, fulfillment, happiness, um, joy, peace, all the things that you love, all the things that you're looking for is really important when I talk about this. So the first thing I want you to think about with your uniqueness, right, is some of you already know this. It's common sense. They catch people for doing crimes with their fingerprints. They catch it with their DNA. When you see how unique DNA is. But when you hear of other things, this is amazing. All of us know, but you may not. So I'll share this with you that no one has the same iris. No one has the same iris in your eyes. No one has the same voice. They actually have programs where they can recognize your voice patterns. And no one else in the world has your voice patterns. No one before you that's lived here ever, and no one after you. So then you look at the uniqueness where, actually they can do handwriting analysis. So, they look, hey, look at that. We found a bunch of things that this person wrote, and then we matched them with what's on these letters, and this is the person. This is the person. And it's funny because when you think of all these things, I even printed out some of them, is our memories and our experiences. No one has done our journey, our hero's journey. So when you think about as long as you've been on this planet, that no one has had your experiences. No one's met the people that you met the way that you met them. And so when you look at it, every one of these things, no one has had your dreams. No one has had your imagination. Not exactly the way you are. So I thought of some other things that would be very unique. So a majority of the people on the planet have a phone, right? They have a phone. Even though the phone is made the same, no one has the exact same phone. And let me explain. Because once it was given to you, you put your contacts in it. The way you search on your browser, the way you do certain things on your phone is very unique to you. So out of all the phones that ever been out there, if you took phones away from 100 people, there would be nothing on those phones. Same with computers. Once you get the computer, then you put your signature on it. You put who you are and how you search. And, I did another video called Algorithms. And that's the uniqueness of you. And so the reason that I bring this up is that a lot of people, I would say the majority of the people, if you're using statistics, is probably about 97% of the people, they feel unfulfilled. They're not happy. They just seem like, the rut again, the grave with the ends knocked out. And the reason why is because and I've done this many times. I keep forgetting to proclaim my uniqueness. And what we do is we see people that might be doing things, and whether they're getting power from it, whether they're getting fame, influence from it, whether they're making money from it, whether they're getting accolades, trophies or awards or, whatever, that what we do is we go, man, I would like freedom. I would like to make an impact in other people's lives. I would like not to worry about money. I would love freedom. And so then what we do is we find someone, right? And we go, we would like to have what they have. And so what you do is you do your best to try to mirror and match that person and do what they did. But because of their uniqueness, they had a different journey to getting there. Does that make sense? So every moment and every person that they met and every thought that they had got them to there. When you look at people that are singers and actors, and you look at people that are in any kind of sports, the one thing that you'll find out about each and every person is when they get to the elite of the elite, they all have their signature swing. They all have their signature warm up, when they're going to make a shot. They proclaim their uniqueness. So you get to use the basics, but the people that really, really have the best things in life are people that start, instead of looking outside, they start looking inside. And they go, what is the things that make me unique that no one else has? A lot of people say about me all the time, it's my laugh. You know what I mean? Oh my God, Robert, your laugh. And I can remember a time in my life where I thought my laugh, my voice, the way I looked, the way I am, I didn't like that person. I didn't like anything about that person. Huh? And the reason I didn't is because I blamed who I am based on my experiences as a child, getting taken away from my parents at a very young age. Growing up in houses and schools where, man, I didn't like being unique. I was one of 2 white kids on an Indian reservation. And so people go, hey, you're white. You don't understand what it feels like. And I'm going like, really? Okay. So I had experiences that happened in my life that I would blame, and I was a victim, and why me? And now when I was able to figure out that, wow, that the Creator created a miracle, so my mentor, when he first met me, he said, Robert, you got to go out and get The Greatest Miracle in the World by Og Mandino. Do me a huge personal favor. I need you to read it and then call me back. Do you know that since he's done that, I've done that to everyone that I've met? And this is going to blow you away. I probably have had maybe 8 people in 38 years. 8 people that went, I'm going to go get the book. I'm going to read it. I'm going to reach out to you. 8 people. So it's all about that. When the student's ready, the teacher appears. So one of the unique things is that when you really look at yourself as a miracle, and that no one is created like you, and you got to proclaim your uniqueness, then and only then can you get that lifestyle that, all of a sudden when you love who you are, and there's this thing that's said out there, it's like everything that you're looking for is if you sow it, if you give it, you'll receive it. So people say, God, I just wish someone would respect me. I just wish that someone would, follow me. I wish that somebody would comment on my comments and like them and share them. I just wish that someone would love me. I wish someone would appreciate me. I wish somebody would recognize me, right? And then you ask yourself the simple question on each and every one of those is like, who are you respecting? Who knows that you respect them? Who knows that that you made a difference in their lives? Who knows? Are you following somebody? So, not that I knew this, but when I read this book, I thought, see, at that time, I'm just a broke mechanic on workman's comp, no electricity. So, it's like my life was worse than one of the worst places it's ever been. And so I then understood that what I would do is I would promote this book, and I would promote my mentor that was teaching me this wisdom. And what I was going to do is make sure that I got as many people in front of him as I possibly could, because I knew by doing that, that one day that would happen to me. If I helped him make his vision and his dream and his imagination come to pass, that I would now see how it was done, and then maybe it would happen to me. No, it happened to me. So when I met my mentor, and he's going, listen, one day I want to be on the cover of magazines, and my company on the cover of magazines. And I'm going like, okay, I'll help you do that. And I was one of his top people, one of his top representatives, one of his top people that promoted him and edified him and put people in front of him. And then all of a sudden, when his company no longer existed, people looked at the people that helped him make that happen. And all of a sudden, people started going, hey, Robert, I want to know what you're doing, how you're doing it. So it's amazing to me that always, things are usually the opposite of what you think. So people think, if I have something, if you give me money, if you teach me skills, if you give me something, then I can do, and then when I do, I can have whatever it is, freedom and happiness and fulfillment. Just like everything else in life, it's no, you gotta be first. You gotta be first. So people are like, what? No. I gotta have first. And the best analogy that I've heard for this is like a wood stove, right? Or a fireplace. It's like, you can't look at it and go, hey, give me heat. I'm cold. Give me heat. Give me heat so I can cook or make something. No, give me wood. Put wood in me and kindling in me and start a fire, start some sparks inside me, and then I will give you heat. No. So you get people all the time. It's like, give me money and then I can make money. So I have people that reach out to me all the time. Hey, can you give me money? It's like, no. I can give you a way to give. Nah, I don't want to give. I don't want to do this. So again, proclaiming your uniqueness, because one of the things that you can do too is it's hard to find out what you're uniquely different in if you don't do anything, right? So a part of imagination is basically, when we're kids, right? It's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a fireman. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a pilot. I want to be a ballerina. I want to be a singer. I want to be an actress. It's like when you have imagination, one of the things that just recently happened in my life, and it just warmed my heart. I love watching Sunday morning. There's always really positive stuff on there, but I seek for positive stuff. And it talked about, this father that from his father, had this agave plant, farm in Mexico. And his sons worked for him. And it was like 7 pesos. I should look up what that is. But 7 pesos for a liter of mezcal, right? So get this. His sons both left Mexico and came to the United States. And they were working here in construction, and one was working, they worked in restaurants as, cleaning up dishes and being a waiter and working in the kitchen. And one became a bartender. And so they were going like, no one cares about mezcal, maybe tequila, but not this. And so as a bartender, they got this, mezcal, right? And as they got that, he looked at it and he goes, oh my God, this ranch or farm is right next to my dad's. And then he looks at it and he, guy says, I want a couple of shots of it. And they did a couple of shots. And then he rang it up on the cash register and it was $10 a shot. For whatever reason, the world changed and people were interested in drinking mezcal. Hope I'm saying it right. Moscow, all right? And so all of a sudden, both brothers wrote down a plan. They went back to their father's farm and they started helping him again. And all of a sudden, because they did that and they drew out a plan, there was a person that actually found out about them. They went from, hey, do you have barrels? His father, did with the farm and just kept doing it. And they had 20,000 barrels of aged Moscow. 20,000 barrels. Go to Sunday morning and put in Moscow. It's such a cool story. And so this guy found them, and now all of a sudden, Bacardi, that makes rum, just bought into them for $100 million. And I'm going like, yeah, in life we all want, it right away. And so, but what made him special is they all talked about how he was one of the only, I guess, plantations that did everything in the ancient way that you should do it. It's like the reason that it tasted so uniquely different and good is because they had none of the commercial stuff that other companies were doing to just make it commercial to make money. And I believe the name of the brand, it looks like illegal, but it was Ilegal Moscow. So I say that to you because everyone needs to figure out how to find that uniqueness, how to proclaim that uniqueness. You're already unique, but when you try all the time to be like somebody else, that person's in that company, or they're marketing this product, or this person is doing this trading a certain way, or this is the way that person does this. I had this discussion with my wife yesterday, and I came to some conclusions, all right? Because when I met my mentor and he told me about this concept of having hundreds of thousands of people that are responsible for my income, and that if I took the time to show people how to be able to share, really quality products, unique products, unique services, that you could build this community of like-minded people and make millions and millions of dollars. I'm very, very blessed. I'm probably more blessed, and I am when I say this, that, I've helped a lot of people earn income where they never had to work for anybody again. So there's a certain group of people that go, wow, if there was a way for me to quit my job or make the kind of money I know me and my family deserve, I'm open to learning about whatever business model you have. And now this business model is so huge. And all of a sudden, when I learned that, he never gave me a script. He just said, Robert, you got to just find people that are interested, the right people at the right time. So say as little as possible to as many people as you can, as fast as you can. And I realize, because of my uniqueness, that I came up with a way that I could ask people to do me a huge personal favor. So like if I was saying it to you, I would say, hey, I was wondering if you could do me a huge personal favor. Do me a kindness. I'd really appreciate it. And people are like, well, what? I go, do you know anyone right now that needs to make extra money? Or that might be interested in learning how to make 6 figures a year, $120,000 a year plus? Most people will say, well, what is this? And I'll go, why? Are you interested? And they go, I don't know what it is. And then I'll say, hey, check out these short videos I have on my YouTube channel. Now, the reason I came up with that is because of my uniqueness. That's what I felt comfortable in doing. And when I realized that when I went to share that with other people, this is what allowed me to get the top positions. This is what helped me make millions. This is what I've taught to other ones to help make millions. What I realized immediately is that people wouldn't say what I told them to say. They wouldn't follow they would change it. But when they changed it, they thought what they could do is do what I did, but they wanted to change it in the way that they wanted to change it instead of making it unique, right? Because one of my very dear friends, Mike and Tony Kupas that own ACN, one of the things that was really, really unique is, man, Mike was just so direct. He would walk up to people and say, hey, would you be interested in making some extra money? They go, what is this? And he'd hand him his business card. And he goes, do you know that a majority of people never call me back? If you call me back on this number, I'll share some information with you that can definitely make you money if you put your mind to it. And for me, that wasn't me. See, that's too direct for me. So I found my way of doing it, right? And so one of the things I want each and every one of you to know is, again, just proclaim your uniqueness. You need to find and ask yourself, trust yourself, and say, what would I feel comfortable? How can I find people that are interested? Where can I find them? And what could I do? What would I feel comfortable doing? And I did a video a couple of days ago called Simplicity. And I'm telling you, man, simplicity. I know that some of you might go ick when I tell you this, right? But, there's a guy out there, Franklin Graham, that took over his father's ministry, Billy Graham. And he's recently been doing videos. I think they came out like in Christmas. But the whole video that he does is less than a minute. So if you went on YouTube, put in Franklin Graham, and they're very short videos. And they're just like, hey, are you really bothered about all the craziness that is going on in the world? Well, I have an answer. And then he very simply says, listen, Jesus Christ was sent here to die for our sins and allow you to have eternal life. So if all you would say is a short prayer with me, and it's less than a minute. So A, he's finding out if you're interested. B, if you're still watching the video, I know you're interested. Then he does the Lord's Prayer. And then right after that, he says, if you've done that, if you please would call this toll-free number, we'd like to pray with you. Help you with that connection and relationship. And I'm just going like, because of the TikTok world, the 8-second attention span, Google it, AI it. Our attention span is like scroll, swipe, 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 swipe. And the algorithm is actually watching what we spend a little more time on than any other post. And then because of that algorithm and programming, it's now given us more of that. And like I said in another video, it's like, that algorithm is 100% designed to keep you distracted from knowing self, from being unique. So now we're like everybody else. We just spend hours and hours and hours of our time being programmed by people that are smart enough to create programming, an algorithm. So it causes this stuff in life that's sort of icky, like competitiveness and compare-itis. And you look at all these people that are on social media that are winning, and you're like, what's wrong with me? The only thing wrong with you is you thinking there's something wrong with you. So what if you could I want to do a separate video on this, but I'll just put it in here. So some of you remember an old, what would it be called? And the old AM radios where you did this and FM, and now it's even XM. But even when you're doing that, if you wanted to listen to a certain music, you want to find the channel. And if you're one number off on the channel, 93.4, 93.7, if you're one number off, all you hear is static. All you hear is static. And you might find a channel, and maybe all that channel is just things to make you feel the wrong emotions, makes you angry, makes you sad. Some people are not going to like this joke, but people say, you know what happens when you play country western music backwards? You get your dog back, your home back, your wife back. So, you know, you can listen to certain channels and be inspired. You can listen to certain channels and be motivated. You can listen to certain channels and be fulfilled and happy and have, tears of joy. And you can constantly find channels that you learn, and you learn more and you apply what you learn, and then you share videos about what you learned, or you share that wisdom with other people. And that's the channels that I've learned to tune into. I turn into channels that, make me feel proud of myself, make me smile, fills me with joy, makes me inspired, makes me imagine of the possibilities. Oh my God, I'm 63. I feel like I have another 50 years left on this planet. I know what some of you said right away. It's like, the average age is like 72 or whatever. And you're overweight, so you're probably going to die. And it's like, wow, what channel have you been listening to? So in closing, I just want to say, proclaim your uniqueness. I hope you grab this book, buy this book. And you'll see at the very end, it talks about doing a few things that you need to count your blessings. You need to proclaim your uniqueness, right? That, there's just certain ways you got to go the extra mile. I was sharing this with my son, Kyle. We drove out from, Yellowstone, Montana out to Temecula to see my new grandson, Ezra, Matthew and Hannah's son. And we drove out there with our golden retrievers, Leo and Dex. And while we were driving out there, and I told him, I said, you're never going to have to worry about life at all. And he goes, really? And he goes, why can you say that? And I said, because you're willing to help others. And when you do something, you always go the extra mile. You take the time to do it correctly or overdo what you're supposed to do. And I love that he possibly seen that in not only his grandpa and his grandma, but also as, his mother and me. That, if people need help, help them. You'll never be around me and my sons and have to open up a door. They will beat you to the door. They think outside their heads. And they're very polite and very respectful. And they also are very unique, and they know it. And so lead by example by finding your uniqueness and falling in love with yourself. There's a little assignment in this book when you read it. And that's what I did. So all of a sudden when I go, there's only one of me. I'm a miracle, and I was created to create. It choked me up. That I get to decide every moment of my life the emotions that I have. There's things, bad things and good things that happen to everybody, but I get to make a choice on how I react to those things. Because I don't want anything or anyone. I don't want to give them or that or whatever it is, these major corporations. I will not allow them to steal my joy. Even though they spend billions of dollars and trillions of dollars are finding a way to try to get me tweaked about something, mad about something, upset about something, right? And so it's easy to be in a good place and attract good things to yourself when you realize you're unique, and then you're going to protect, you're going to put a guard, a warrior against the, things that are trying to get your attention to make you feel the opposite emotions of what you should feel. Because whether you feel good or not. And so I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to share with you to proclaim your uniqueness, to dive into that. And for people that want to stretch a little further, um, you know, be courageous enough to talk to the people that and say, what makes me unique? What is something about me that makes me unique? And be open to hearing it. And if you believe that, you would reach out to everyone that knows you and they go, I don't know nothing about you that's unique. That would be a reason why you need to dive into it more. You know? So people never have to worry about money when they find their uniqueness. So I always teach this to people where, I know people that make a full time living skipping rocks, drawing stick cats. I want to draw a cat for you today. Stacking plastic cups. The World Cup Stacking Association. It exists. So people stack plastic cups, break the record. McDonald's puts them on a commercial. It's crazy the things that people do that not only every day they can't wait to do it. Can you imagine that? Imagine that every time you get up, you're excited to do whatever it is that people are looking for. I know people in their 80s that make a full-time income off YouTube, doing nothing but recording what they do, which is like knitting or playing video games. There's this little thing that people do, and you go, I can't do that. Well, like Henry Ford said, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So proclaim your uniqueness. I love and appreciate you. Thank you for watching this video. Do me a huge kindness and share this with people that you think it would really help. I really, really appreciate it. Subscribe, like, I'm constantly doing videos and I know that they can help you. And don't ever forget that you're unique. And if no one's giving you permission to succeed in life, let me be the first. I love and appreciate you. God bless you. See you on the next video. Bye for now.